Chantel, I have another dilemma for you.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, okay. It has to do with identity.
hmm
Do you feel more American Mexican, that is to the right, or more Mexican American, that is to the left?
Oh, what would be the difference, do you think?
Well, that's interesting. The fact that you're actually asking that question is very interesting.
Yeah, because I guess the way we identify in America is if you're born in America, but of a different ethnic descent, usually it's like Asian American, Black American, like Mexican American or Cuban American or something like that. But if you're American Mexican, I'm not really sure what that would mean or if they're interchangeable. But even if I answer it, do I feel more American or more Mexican? I think I feel okay. So which one would be which?
Well, it's actually really cool. So, okay, do you feel more Mexican is to the right? Do you feel more American to the left? But I'm just, yeah, okay, we'll go for that dilemma.
Okay. Um, I definitely feel more American than I do Mexican because
Yes.
when I've been to Mexico, people don't always understand my Spanish.
Ah!
And I find that even I'll stand over here close with you. Even when I think some of my interests or my habits are very Americanized. But that's not to say that I don't feel Mexican, because or like identify as Mexican, because a lot of my upbringing, obviously, with two Mexican parents, you know.
Exactly. Because what would be Mexican things that you cherish?
Well, I make it a point. I really like to cook, and I usually try to like cook and perfect Mexican cuisine or meals. American, I don't even know what I would consider to be American food. So like that's interesting. But I think even in my the same like values, I really value family, and I think that's a very Mexican thing, the way I was raised. But at the same time, I also really value my independence, which I think is like a very American ideal. So um,
It sounds like a happy marriage.
yes, that's true. That
Yeah.
is true.
Yeah.
Like, and then sometimes though, like I think the expectations of a nice Mexican daughter don't always fit with my American ways though, and my parents have really like embraced it because I have friends or family who are also Mexican American, and their parents are far more strict and really almost resent sometimes when their kids don't follow certain traditions, and my parents have been like okay, you know. So
Yeah, I think that's a really important fact actually as well that you found here, for example, in the neighborhood here with Overvecht, you have a lot of Moroccan people, Turkish people,
mhm,
actually lots of cultures, but certainly the group oriented and maybe more Muslim communities.
mhm, mhm,
And certainly the kids, they sometimes have problems with the two cultures. And what I'm hearing from you is that you're from your upbringing, you really, like I said, the happy marriage and also
mhm,
the joining of the two,
mhm,
and
mhm.
not a thing of shame or
Sure.
they saw you maybe as a person rather than as a culture, maybe
Yeah,
even.
exactly. But that wasn't always easy, I have to say.
Mm.
And there are of course things like that I can understand why people have that difficulty, especially when it is so ingrained in our family dynamics.
Mm.
But once you go leave your family dynamics, you become more maybe one thing. Again, I've seen more American, and then when you're at home, maybe you become a little more, in my
Okay,
case,
so that's
Mexican.
interesting. Depending on the situation, of course, and the
Yeah,
context as well, the setting.
yeah, yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly.